let him know? Okay. Interrupt the proceedings.
Alright, so now I gotta put my glasses on. Yeah, you're going to sign that. You'll sign that. Not yet though. Hold on. They can't hear the sound. Jan, were they able to hear me talk? Because they should be able to hear these mics. All right, our tech guy's working on it. How many people are on the YouTube channel now? Let's see.
Melissa, Kathy.
There's 29 people watching.
I'm sure a lot of them are staff. We're not as entertaining as you.
Hello? Good?
Can I take the roll call now, Stephen? Okay, at this time I'll take roll call. Ms. Bucino?
Here.
Ms. Egan?
Here.
Ms. Marcus?
Here.
Mr. Parati?
Here?
Mr. Rubinich? Oh. Ms. Sacco Calderon?
Here.
Ms. Skelton?
Here.
Mr. Stampone?
Here.
Ms. Wojciech?
Here.
Okay. Dave's working on it.
The first order of business for us this evening is to appoint Mr. Miccioci as the Board Secretary Pro Tem. In the absence of Ms. Kidda this evening, we need a Board Secretary to conduct the reorganization meeting. So at this time, I would ask for someone to make a motion, please.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion is made by Mrs. Egan and seconded by Mrs. Skelman.
What was it? Can I do the roll?
Please, call the roll.
All right, I'll call the roll. Ms. Bucino?
Yes.
What I'm
It's a
voting.
resolution so that Damien can act as Melissa's chief advocate, okay? Just, and we're, next board meeting, we're gonna make it permanent so that we don't have to worry about it as we go.
I couldn't hear him either. That's it's hard to hear. I didn't know what he was voting on.
Can we
So
turn the
this
fan
is
off,
this
maybe?
this is a motion to appoint Mr. Miccioci as the Board Secretary Pro Tem in the absence of Ms. Kidda this evening for the reorganization meeting.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And the motion was made by Mrs. Egan and seconded by Mrs. Skelton.
Okay, sound is on, Jan.
Okay, so we're doing the roll. I have a yes from Ms. Bucino. Ms. Egan?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Skelton?
Yes.
Mr. Stampone?
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech?
Yes.
Motion passes. Coach, we turn the meeting over to you at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Fogarty. Okay, so at this time, I will take nominations for the President of the Board of Education.
I would like to nominate Deborah Sacco Calderon as our next board president. This past year, she served as vice president during some very intense times, and I think she'll be a great next president.
You don't need a second. Just the first. Oh, it is?
Are there any other nominations for board president? Take the roll. Okay, so we'll take the roll here. Ms. Busino?
Yes.
Ms. Egan?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon? Ms. Skelton?
Yes.
Mr. Stampone?
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech?
Yes.
Congratulations.
You can just stay there, Deb.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the floor for, I'm sorry. At this time, I'd like to open up the nominations for vice president for the following school year. Cindy?
I would like to nominate Tony Rubenich. I know he's absent today, but he's been on the board for several years. I think he's very organized. He's always well prepared, attends his county meetings, and I think he would be a great vice president for us this year.
And I would like to nominate Frank Parati as vice president for the upcoming year. Mr. Parati has been involved in numerous committees and has been dedicated throughout COVID being available, and I think he also would make a good representation for vice president. Is there any other nominations for the floor? Okay, at this time I will close it, and we will go through a vote.
Ready, Deb?
Yep.
So, Madam President, we would call for a vote on these two nominations in the order in which they were made. So, Mr. Rubenich would be the candidate who would be for whom there would be a roll call vote taken, and then if he does not receive a majority vote of the board, which would be 5 votes cast in his favor, we would then call for a vote for Mr. Parati.
Okay.
Okay.
Well- Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can go now, right, Stephen? Okay, so for Mr. Rubenich, the roll, Ms. Busino.
Abstain?
Ms. Egan?
Yes.
Ms. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Parati?
No.
Ms. Calderon?
No.
Ms. Skelton?
No.
Mr. Stampone?
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech?
Yes.
It's 4 votes.
In order to be elected to the office of Vice President, it would require 5 affirmative votes. So the votes cast in favor were 4 in favor, 3 in the negative, and 1 abstention. So the vote for Mr. Rubenich is not successful. So at this time, we would call the roll for the nomination of Mr. Parati as Vice President.
Ms. Busino?
Abstain?
Ms. Egan?
No.
Ms. Marcus?
No.
Mr. Parati?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon? Ms. Skelton?
Yes.
Mr. Stampone?
No.
Ms. Wojciech?
Yes.
It's 4, right? 4 yes.
And here we are.
Frank, Deb, Jan, Mary, 4.
The number of affirmative votes cast for Mr. Parati as Vice President were 4 votes. There were 3 votes in the negative and 1 abstention. So under the board's bylaw, Mr. Parati has not been elected as the Vice President. So, Madam President, at this time, I would ask you to call for any further nominations for the position of Vice President.
All right, since we are at a tie at this point, as per Mr. Fogarty, we're going to open the floor again for any further nominations. Turn your mic on, Deb.
Deb,
Oh,
mic.
I'm sorry. Okay, as per Mr. Fogarty, we are going to open up the floor for additional nominations for Vice President. Do I have any other nominations? I'm sorry.
I'd like to nominate Mrs. Wojcicki for Vice President, given that we're in need of someone to fill the role right now. I think she's done a good job the last several years and would offer us some good continuity moving forward in the coming year.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Marcus. Okay, anyone else? Nominations, okay. Mr. Matochi, you want to do roll call for this?
Okay, Ms. Bucino,
Abstain.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati.
Would it be appropriate if I was able to ask a question before I cast my vote?
Stephen, can you ask a question?
Of the actual candidate itself?
Did she accept the nomination? That's usually what we ask.
I'm sorry?
Would it be appropriate if I was able to ask Ms. Wojcicki a question before I cast my vote?
Actually, we're in the middle of the roll call, so unfortunately, the ability to ask that question, unless the board wishes to suspend the order of the vote. We are in the middle of a roll call vote, so it's not appropriate to ask any questions.
I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of asking a question.
Then we need to call a roll call on that to suspend the rules.
You need a second.
You're right. We need a second for that.
I'll second it, sure.
Mrs. Wojcicki has seconded the motion
This is to suspend the roll call?
to suspend
Suspend
the rules.
to allow questions.
Okay.
Can I ask the question?
Yes.
Well, not until we
Not
take a
until we
roll call.
vote.
Sorry.
Ms. Bucino,
Abstain.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojcicki.
Yes.
You may now ask your question.
So, Ms. Wojcicki, look, it's a simple question, and I think you've done a fantastic job as board president for the last 2 years. Okay, and I have no problem supporting the motion that Ms. Marcus has made regarding you. I do believe, though, that there should be other people on this board that are given opportunities to both be vice president and president, and I will vote yes for you on one condition, that you do not run for president next year.
I have no issue with that. I have no issue with that, I said.
I can't hear you.
I said I have no issue with that.
Okay. You want to consider what?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you accept that nomination. Is that correct?
I would accept that,
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion before we resume the roll call majority vote on the nomination of Ms. Wojcicki as
No,
the
we
vice
just did.
president?
We just voted on me asking a question, and then you voted yes. We left it at Jill.
Any other questions or discussion?
No, you voted
before
yeah.
we
You
resume
made the
roll
motion.
call vote? Mr. Micciocci, if you would resume the roll call vote, please.
Okay, Ms. Bucino,
Yes.
She did yes already.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon, Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojcicki.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the board members, we need to read through the school member code of ethics. So if you can pull that out of your packets.
I took Jill's, I'm gonna give it back.
And what I would suggest here is that we just start from Ms. Bucino, and we'll just work our way this way, and then work our way back after we get through all 12 of the ethics. So one by one, we'll just go around. You can read aloud. Ms. Bucino, you can start with number 1.
Okay. I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes shall be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures.
I will make my decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing.
I will confine my board action to policy-making, planning, and appraisal, and I will help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted with those who will be affected by them.
I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members to see that they are well run.
I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that may compromise the board.
I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interest or partisan political groups or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends.
I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the school. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and, in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its schools.
I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer. I will support and protect school personnel in proper performance of their duties.
I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of administrative solution.
I will behave toward my fellow board members with the respect due their office, demonstrating courtesy, decorum, and fair play at all public meetings and in all public statements.
I'll refrain from inappropriate conduct in public meetings and in making public statements, refraining from any disparagement of my fellow board members or others on a personal, social, racial, or religious basis.
Okay, if you can please sign the Code of Ethics document, and I will just come around and collect them or pass them to your left and you guys to your right.
We have to initial these or not?
Okay, I'm going to read the results from the West Essex Regional School District election that was held on Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. The annual election results, the Borough of Essex Fells, there was one member elected to the Board of Education for a 3-year term, Ms. Bethany Bucino, receiving 674 votes. For the Borough of Fairfield, one member to the Board of Education for a 3-year term, through write-in votes, Mr. Raphael Stampone. And the Borough of North Cornwall, one member of the Board of Education for a 3-year term, Ms. Mary Adele Wojciech with 1,569 votes. Congratulations, and I will turn the rest of the meeting over to our Board President, Ms. Calderon.
The following reorganization motions are made at the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools. Anything placed on this agenda, items 1 through 6, has been deemed to be non-controversial in a matter of routine business and will be voted upon in one motion, and I so move.
Second.
I just want to make one comment regarding this. If everyone will just look at the dates that were delineated for the board meetings going forward, and if you can just make a note, not today, but just going forward, if you can send us an email
and let us know if there's anything that's a real issue or something that you have a concern about, and we will try and see if we can accommodate you.
Ready
Roll
for the
call.
roll?
Mhm.
Okay, Ms. Bucino,
Yes.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech.
Yes.
I have a superintendent's report now.
Okay.
So I just have a really brief superintendent's report for this evening. First and foremost, Happy New Year to our entire West Essex school community. Welcome back, and may 2022 be filled with health, happiness, and success. I'd like to congratulate our new board member, Ms. Bethany Bucino, and our returning board members, Mr. Ray Stampone and Ms. Mary Wojciech. I look forward to our continued work together. And I also want to again thank Ms. Ann Fahey, our former board member from Essex Fells, for her many years of service to the West Essex Board of Education. Our schools are currently open, and as we know, there is no substitute for in-person learning. And I just want to give a big thank you to my entire faculty and staff for their continued commitment to our students and their ability to stick together and support one another as we move forward into 2022. There actually will be no principals reports tonight, Ms. Calderon, so I can turn it back over to you.
Okay. Do we have any committee reports? Ms. Skelton? Yes, curriculum committee report, very brief. The curriculum committee met on December the 16th. We've spent the primary focus of our meeting discussing the changes in the program of study, which we're voting on here tonight, and I believe all of you should have received the minutes in advance. That's all. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Egan?
I've been working on the new board member packet.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it is in Melissa's hands at the moment. She's doing final reviews of it, and we should all have it in the next day or two, so we can review it and vote on it at our retreat on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
So, come along.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we will open the floor for public comments on agenda items only. Please remember that agenda items are the business items we will vote on this evening. In accordance with bylaws 0167, a copy of which is available on the district's website, the board will now open the meeting for a period of public comments. Please remember to announce your name, place of residence, and a group affiliation if appropriate. Your statements will be limited to 3 minutes in duration. The board will, of course, consider your comments as they relate to its obligations to effectively govern the West Essex School District. Any comments or questions regarding any presentations this evening should wait until the second public comment section and not at this time. All statements will be directed to me as the presiding officer, and no one may address the board members individually. Superintendent Michochi is standing in now, and he will start for the 3-minute timer. When the timer goes off and you will be asked to wrap up your comments, please be considerate of others who may want the opportunity to speak as well. No participant may speak more than once until all others who wish to speak have had the opportunity to speak. Also, specific questions or concerns regarding your individual child should be directed to their teacher, supervisor, or their building principal. Comments regarding students and/or employees are discouraged and will be responded by the board. Do we have anyone in the public? No? Okay. All right. Mr. Mitochi, do we have anyone on the Google forms asking any questions? Okay. Good to go. All right. Finance, Frank, would you take that for us?
Yes, let me just find that, please.
Page 5.
The following finance motions are made at the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Anything placed on this agenda, items 1 through 6, will be voted upon in one motion. I so move.
Okay, Ms. Bucino.
I'm abstain 1 through 4, yes to 5, and abstain 6.
Abstain 1 through 4, yes to 5 and
And
6.
six.
Okay. Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech.
Yes.
Jill, would you take curriculum and special ed?
The following curriculum special education motions are made at the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Anything placed on this agenda, items 1 through 5, will be voted upon in one motion, and I so move.
Second.
Ms. Bucino,
Abstain 1 through 5.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech.
Yes.
Ray, would you take the next one for us? Personnel?
The following personnel motions are made at the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Anything placed on this agenda, items 1 through 8, will be voted upon in one motion, and I so move.
Second.
Ms. Bucino,
Yes.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech.
Yes.
Jan, would you take miscellaneous?
The following miscellaneous motions are made at the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Anything placed on this agenda, items 1 through 3, will be voted upon in one motion, and I so move.
Second.
Ms. Bucino,
Abstain 1 and 2, and yes to 3.
Ms. Egan,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus,
Yes.
Mr. Parati,
Yes.
Ms. Calderon,
Yes.
Ms. Skelton,
Yes to 1, no to 2, yes to 3.
Mr. Stampone,
Yes.
Ms. Wojciech.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we'll open the floor to public comments for non-agenda items. Do we have anyone in the public? Would you please step up to the podium? Thank you. Correct. Thank you so much for starting our year off like that. It really is a welcome to have parents come out, give your time during the night, the same that we do, and to give accolades to our, staff members. It's so appreciative by us, the board members, to know that there are those of you out there who appreciate all the time and effort, and it was a great way to start the meeting and the new year. So have a good year to you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, Ms. Wojciech, you want to read us out?
There being no further business before this Board of Education, be it resolved that this public meeting be adjourned at 7:40. Motion?
Okay, thank you everyone for a great meeting. Wish all of you a very happy and healthy new year, school year, and thank you for everything that you do for our students.
See, it's a little harder than you thought, right?
Saving the earth.
Right, exactly.
Thank you for guidance and so survived the first one. That was nice.
That was easy. That's the hardest one. Now you know it's easy from here on out, right? It's,
We'll say.
Hi.
Bethany Busino.
I just wanted to introduce myself.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Forward to our
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.